What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking out the Sea Hurricane Mark 1B. This is a plane that was added in the 1.49 War Thunder update back in April of 2015, and this is one of those planes I just haven't focused on. I spaded it a long time ago, but I just haven't done a video on it, and it's because I think that patch included a lot of planes that I wasn't all that impressed with, like the Fireflies, for example. And although I like British planes, the Hurricanes have never been a particular favorite of mine due to their kind of wonky handling. And I think one of the problems with the Hurricane is the propeller. The propeller tends to be very heavy. It makes the nose dip, and that dipping makes combat somewhat difficult, but it also makes just taking off the runway difficult, because your plane will want to dip down, and you can actually crash your nose right on the runway. So you'll have to repair for 20 seconds or whatever it happens to take on your particular crew, and that'll keep you out of the fight just a little bit longer. And since the Sea Hurricane doesn't have WEP, it's going to make it difficult to get into the battle. John, my wingman here, he's actually flying the Mark 2B, which does have WEP, and it also has 4 additional machine guns. He's going to be out of the fight pretty soon because he's going to rip his wings. John has been flying his plane quite well in this particular day. The last 2 battles he got ASUS games. This was just one of those games for him where things just didn't go quite as planned. So I dropped down on this lag. I tried to get for a nice little pilot snipe, but instead I get the engine. And you can see he's got a nice little smoke trail. The Sea Hurricane comes with 8 7.7mm machine guns and 2,800 rounds of ammunition. You're going to need every one of those rounds, trust me. I have found that the 30 cals are very hit and miss. I've tried all convergences, I've tried all ammunition types. Stealth and Tracer are the ones that I've tried the most. Tracer can be surprisingly effective, even though it's almost all just Tracer rounds. There's no armor-piercing incendiary. One little tap on the mouse and just the plane would explode right in front of your eyes, and it's like, wow, what the hell is going on? Then you'll get into some battles where you'll put 1,000 rounds into a guy, and it does nothing. And I found the exact same thing with stealth rounds. In this particular match, I'm using stealth, and I'm using a gun convergence of 300 meters. I eventually let off this guy once I noticed that his engine is basically toast. It's the propeller was just barely spinning. So now I want to focus on these other low fighters. We're up against the Soviet Union. Fireball this lag. Just let him burn. The other lag should be going down here in a second. Now we got a nice little horde of planes. Now it's just a matter of picking one out and trying not to get shot down in a head-on. I don't want to die to a head-on. I just lit 2 guys up. The last thing I want to do is go down to a head-on. To focus on this lag who's got a nice little broadside to me. I just barely do anything to him. The I-16 comes in for another head-on. Pull up and go over top of him. And we have planes just everywhere. To my left, to my right, behind me. I-16 comes back in. I get his engine. A nice thick black smoke. One of the fighters goes down. I know I have to keep this up. I have to keep these guys into a turn fight. Get them slow. Because the Hurricane is a very good, very maneuverable fighter. It's good until you run out of energy. When you're too slow, the Hurricane is just insufferable. Lag 3 bites the dust right here in front of me. Prepare to engage the other lag 3, because there's a million lags in this particular battle. Hit the I-16, he goes down. Engage the lag. I managed to get his engine as well, as you can tell by the black smoke coming out. He turns right in front of me, which really surprised me. I figured he would continue to turn fight me. So I just put some more rounds into him, light him on fire, and let him burn up for my 4th kill of the match. Now, as far as their team, they have 1 lag, they have 1 AR-2 behind me, they have I-16 off near our runway. The AR-2 I'm going to leave alone, so I'm going to focus on the fighters, as they could potentially be killing us at or near the runway. I suspected that the I-16 was doing that exactly. However, I can't do a whole lot of engaging at this particular moment, because if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that I have fewer than 200 rounds of ammunition. The weapons platform that the Sea Hurricane has certain advantages and certain disadvantages. The advantages are, of course, that it has 8 30 cal machine guns, and that has a lot of killing potential. However, you only have 2,800 rounds of ammunition, and with 8 machine guns, it's going to go through the ammunition quite quickly. So it's going to force you to go back to the runway if you get into several engagements, or if you happen to be a very poor shot. The Typhoon Mark 1A is a similar plane in that it has, I believe, a dozen guns, and it has a relatively limited ammo supply. So you just go through that ammunition so quickly. Here, I can't really do much against this I-16. Not only is he far more maneuverable, so I energy fight him more than anything, but I can only put so many rounds into him once I get onto his 6. In order to actually take this guy down, I'm going to have to rely on my teammate here, who was fighting that lag, and fortunately he just won that battle. A drop on the I-16. I prepare to put as many rounds as I can into him. I've been relatively accurate in my shots, and here I'm out just that quickly. I went through almost 200 rounds of ammunition in like 2 little bursts. It was ridiculous. And I did hit the I-16, and you see I believe he hits a tree, and it says I get a credit for a critical hit. I don't understand that at all. And so when my teammate comes in for the kill, I actually get credit for the kill. And my guy's like, "What the fuck was that?" I don't know, man. I hit him, and for some reason that crit, I believe he hit the tree. I'm pretty sure he hit the tree. And so War Thunder decided to award me the kill. I mean, I didn't have any ammunition, so it's not like I could have stolen the kill from him. It's just funny stuff that War Thunder does to you sometimes. The rest of the battle was pretty boring, so I'm going to just tell you what happens, and I'll just cut to the end. I fly back to the runway, land, repair, rearm, do all that exciting stuff, and then fly back and try to hunt down the AR-2. The AR-2 pilot was trying to get upgrades for his bomber, so he was like, "Look, I'll drop my bombs on this bombing target. I'll control my gunners, and you guys can shoot me afterwards," or something like that. You know, it's just very honest and straightforward. You know, I just want some upgrades, man. Don't shoot me. And I've encountered these kinds of people before, and I completely understand the feeling. Flying a bomber is really difficult. I have no idea as to how some people are able to do that for any period of time. It gets very frustrating as you're such an easy target. You're basically an RP pinata. Everyone wants to kill you. Here recently, when they added the Sterling bombers, I tried to upgrade some Sterling bombers in realistic battles. And let me tell you, that was not fun. That was not a fun experience. I found flying it in arcade to be an easier thing to do. Realistic battles, it's like everyone goes for you, and if you happen to be a YouTuber, everyone is like all on your ass. It's like, kill the YouTuber. It's like, damn, I just can't catch a break, man. I'm just here for some upgrades. Don't kill me. But no, I think the last time I flew the Sterling, I had 5 fighters on my ass. I was on Norway. I'm pretty sure there were 5 fighters. I think there were 2 109s, 2 Focke-Wulfs, and an MB410 just for good measure. Just all diving on me. It's like they give no shit to anybody else. They saw a YouTuber who was in a bomber with another YouTuber who was in a bomber. I was flying with Jengar. And he was like, "Fuck those guys." They all dove on us. It was not a pleasant experience. I don't know how anyone manages to fly bombers in realistic battles and enjoys it. I don't know how anyone can have fun and remain sane at the same time while flying a bomber. And I know there are people who probably had a grandfather who flew a bomber in the war, and they might want to try to recreate that in the game, and well, let me tell you, it's going to be really frustrating. Anyway, with 6 kills, I managed to rake in just over 50,000 Silver Lions, and I'm finishing up on the Sterling in this particular video, actually. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this little look at the Sea Hurricane. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.